guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. We have a very special review for you guys today. You just caught me there during my 3 a.m. slumber, but I'm up now. Instantly just a jolt of energy and I'm ready to go, so let's get into this. So we do have a very special pedal we're going to be looking at today. This arrived in the mail yesterday. This is the Lax Comp, basically the relaxed compressor from Donner. Now, Donner, you know, they have an assortment of pedals up there on Amazon, and honestly, I've looked through them. You're seeing like a slideshow of them on screen right now, and yeah, they're all very promising looking to me. I'm really excited about this company, so if this pedal works when I plug it in, and if it has decent functionality to it, I think I'm probably going to be shilling a lot of Donner stuff from this moment moving forward. Not because they paid me, I don't accept sponsorships on this channel, but just because, you know, a lot of the pedals out there just seem to be like over-designed and like too flashy, and the stuff from like Donner and Sonicake and some other brands I've seen, like kind of budget brands I've seen on Amazon, actually seem the most promising to me, versus those super expensive pedals. This ran me about $50 on Amazon, completely unopened. I've never opened it before, I just opened it. It's open to now. And we're just gonna take a look. So it comes with these 2 badass stickers. Holy shit, that's pretty cool. It's like a slanted moon and a tree. That's actually awesome looking. They look like tarot cards or something. It's really sick. So we're just gonna set this up in our setup here, and it is like 3 a.m. right now. You can probably see the moon out there if I try to show you. Do you see it? I can't see it. It's 3 a.m. It's a full moon. We got the tarot cards out. So this is the Donner Lax Compressor review. It is like 3 a.m. right now. You can probably see the moon out there. Got a not so subtle nod to assuming the compressor this was based on the actual famous 1170 cigarettes and brand. Got a little switch right here. It goes between natural and bright. So that's pretty cool. And we got a nice little tactile click. This is not made out of... this seems to be like mainly just to make like pinch harmonics stand out really fine. Some Lax Compressor review. Alright guys, so we got this here, and it's actually pretty useful. They have pretty useful little description for what each of the knobs is supposed to do. I think it would help a lot more if this thing could actually teach me how to fucking read, because I don't know how to do that. But yeah, as you can see here, we got the Lax Comp analog compressor. I just wanted a good analog compressor. Initially I got this mainly just to make like pinch harmonics stand out and stuff, which actually you should have just seen that in the intro, but yeah, I think this thing's pretty sick, pretty gnarly, and I'll probably always have it plugged in, to be honest. I could see it having a lot more uses for guitar tone and for tone shaping than just to make the actual pinch harmonic stand out. We got this kind of skateboard tape kind of stuff, these little friction stoppers, so that's pretty cool. Premium piece of foam, and another premium piece of foam. Let's see if there's anything else hidden in this box. yeah, so we got it. We got the manual right here, and here's the actual pedal itself in all of its glory. It's like slightly smaller than I expected, no complaints. I like smaller pedals. As you can probably tell from that Tube Screamer review we dropped last time. And we got a nice little tactile click. This is not made out of... Well, this seems to be like a mix of like metal and plastic. So yeah, let's just get into the build quality before we do anything. So yeah, I'll just... yeah, build quality. Build quality. Let's see how it stands up to our rigorous tests over here on Central Hub Emporium. We've got a little switch right here that goes between natural and bright. So that's pretty cool. I'll probably mostly keep it on natural for like that kind of indie sound. All the knobs are actually on 0. I'd give like this build quality like a 6.5 out of 10, maybe a 7 if you factor in the price there. It's like a mixture of like kind of plasticky and kind of metally. It almost feels like this is some kind of like plastic metal alloy, if that's a thing. I like how it's got like this kind of satin look to it. It looks pretty good. The back is probably the worst looking part, so we're getting into aesthetics now. But you're not going to be seeing that one as much. It is made in China. I don't really care about that. I'm going to remove the screws anyway, if I feel like it. Standard 9-volt power, which wasn't actually made very clear in the Amazon listing, but I was able to see like a picture just like this where I could barely make out that, yeah, it's 9-volt. So yeah, the switch, it's not like the best switch I've ever heard. It's kind of like plasticky and cheapy, but it's like perfectly fine. I'd give this like a 5 out of 10 in terms of how tactile it actually is, the switch up here. It actually takes a little bit of force to actuate, which I like. And yeah, that's a good little switch. We got our 4 knobs right here. So yeah, honestly, seeing this in person, I'm really excited. This really gets my gear bone going, and I think we're actually gonna check this out. So I don't actually know. Part of this video is like, what does a compressor even do? How do you understand compression? Why is compression so difficult to understand? Why does nobody ever explain it properly? Why do I have a learning disability? And as you can see right here, we got a not so subtle nod to, I'm assuming the compressor this was based off of, the actual famous 1176 studio compressor. You can actually see the 7 and the 6 right there. Very cool looking. I like the aesthetics of it with these trees and stuff. It's so cool. True bypass, which is good, I guess. I don't know if I remember what that is, but I think it's good to throw some true bypass pedals in there. And then if you get anything from like one of the big manufacturers like Boss, you'll get like an actual buffered pedal to cut down on the noise in your signal chain. But pretty much anything from like a smaller manufacturer is usually going to be true bypass. So we have attack. That's how quickly it grabs the note. I do remember that. Limit, I guess that's kind of like a threshold control or something. We got level, which is volume, and sustain, which is sustain. So I guess what we're gonna do, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna set the camera up and I'm gonna go to my primary resource for learning. Oh my god, learn how to speak. So yeah, we're gonna go to ChatGPT and see if I can figure out exactly what each one of these knobs is supposed to do. I'll read through this manual as well. I just remembered how to read, so yeah, we'll do our little research here, and I think we'll circle back with you guys. So let's get this. Alright guys, so it's actually the next day now. We're technically the same day, and I did figure out what the knobs on this compressor actually do. So I've got the compressor right here. So this first knob is called sustain. That's basically your threshold control, or your ratio. It'll just adjust how strong the actual compression is. We have level, which is basically just a glorified volume, but if you want to be fancy, we can call it makeup gain. And basically, it'll just send more gain into your guitar amp, which will actually change the character of the sound. We have attack, which is like how quickly it grabs the note, how quickly it compresses it. So if it's really high, it'll make the compression very noticeable, and if it's pretty low, the compression will be more subtle. And then we have the limit, which is kind of like a secondary threshold. This will lower the ceiling of how much it actually compresses it, so it gives us like an additional amount of control. So there's a lot of functionality here. We do have the natural and bright switch, which I haven't found a difference between. But yeah, I think we're just gonna plug this in now, and we're gonna see how it actually sounds. So let me get my camera going here. Yep, we're getting the camera going. Getting the camera going. And let me actually cut the light off to set the mood in here a little bit. And we'll get Reaper going, get that recording, get my guitar, cut the amp on. So all these knobs are around 5 right now, with the level being actually a little bit higher. And we're just gonna check this out. We're gonna see how this performs for us today. Changing the tonality of the sound, just the clean sound in here, quite a lot actually, and it's hard to like exactly pinpoint what it is, but it just sounds better to me, and it sounds like it just like sweetens up the tone or something. A pretty noticeable amount, so we'll cut that off. That's kind of like my standard sound I would expect from this amplifier. It'll be a little bit more noticeable if I cut this limiter down and cut this gain up. This is actually like adding some drive into the guitar amp, which is very interesting. So it's sending out like a lot of gain into my amp, and I basically have to cut this negative 10 dB pad on, so it doesn't clip too much, but it is adding like some drive to it. Actually compressing my actual amp. Well, it's compressing the sound, but it's acting kind of like a subtle overdrive or something on the actual amp, which is interesting because this is just a guitar amp that's designed mainly for just like clean tone applications. It's not meant to actually distort when you play it. So I just thought that was interesting. We'll play around with this a little bit more. I'll cut that threshold up a little bit just so you can hear it a little more, and yeah. it sounds really good to me, to be honest. It has a little bit of like a country sound, oddly enough. Maybe I need to learn about that. Maybe that's how you get the country sound, is by using an actual compressor. But yeah, it's pretty interesting if I just bend a string or something. Totally different on this channel. With the sound demonstration, I'm just improvising and seeing how it sounds, and with the sound demo, I'm just showing you how it sounds, and I'm also improvising. It's totally different, but sometimes I will throw in like a cover of a song or like a part that's already pre-written in the sound demo. But yeah, that sounds kind of country. That's interesting. And lastly, before we go over to like distortion or anything like that, and really see how this pinch harmonics sound with this, you know, if I could hit one. I want to see how this affects the dynamics and stuff, so the way I'm going to do that is by... Alright guys, so it's 12:02 a.m. and we are actually back here. We're going to do a little bit of a bass limiter test, because we haven't actually got to see what this limiter can really do. And one of the most appealing things about this pedal for me was the actual built-in limiter. So we're just going to check that out. So I think I'm going to set the sustain probably around 4, attack even lower around 3, level right down the center. And we'll go ahead and crank that limiter up to around 8. And you can see that there. And there is actually a secret weapon behind here. We got my distortion pedal. And we're just gonna try it out. Slap bassist. I don't really slap the bass that much, but the reason I thought like a limiter would be appealing in my bass setup is because I do kind of slap the bass. I slap it like this, and I thought this would be an effective way to control those peaks. So far it seems like it is, so I'll cut it off and see how this peak sound now. So it does seem like it's effectively controlling those peaks in my actual bass guitar there. Again, this is mostly what I do for like metal stuff. I am going to try like just plugging the bass directly in to show, because something seems to be controlling those peaks anyway. So if I just take that out, and if I just plug that right into my bass here. I was tinkering for like a good 10 minutes just trying to figure out if the out goes out to the audio interface or if it goes out to the guitar. I've always been dyslexic with that, and I always forget which side the guitar goes in and which side goes out to the amp. But yeah, we got that there, and here you should be able to hear this peaks I'm trying to control. So yeah, it's definitely peaking, and now we'll plug it just through the compressor. So I'll take this, plug this in here, and plug this output into my guitar, and this will actually show you how effectively it's able to control those peaks. You can hear how they get crushed, and then I cut it off. That's off. Now we're going to cut it back on one more time. So yeah, it's really controlling those peaks, and that's it's also changing the tone a little bit, getting like even a little bit more of like a ultra metal tone off of there. So we will plug this back in through the distortion pedal. So I take this out, take this out. I think I plugged this into here. And we have sound. I guess I'll just play you guys out. That's really all it is. It's an effective limiter. We crank it up to around 8 or so, and it will work for your bass guitar playing. You're doing a little bit of slap. Or just going ape shit like I am. Oh, well, how convenient to have you here. I was looking for you, actually. I was out there looking for you. I was trying to find you. I looked everywhere. I looked in every nook and cranny. I looked in here. I looked in here. I looked in here. And then I got so tired of looking, I stopped looking. And then I looked over here. And I was like, oh, there's my guy. So we're back. Welcome back to my lair. Welcome to the crypt. Welcome to the sexy hormone dungeon. Yeah, whenever the bitches come in my room, they're like, why do you call this place the sex enclosure? All right, let's go. So we have the acoustic electric here, the Washburn. We did a review on this like a couple months ago, actually. So yeah, we have it right here. And we're going to be playing some stuff on it. We're going to be playing some riffs. And we're going to see how it sounds with the compressor. So we are actually testing the dynamics. And basically, I think dynamics was like the original reason to use and like create compression in the first place. Was basically you had an audio recording. You wanted to like kind of lower the really loud parts and like raise up the really quiet parts and just kind of level it all out. And when you have access to tools that let you do that, it just really really opens up your playing and stuff, and you're able to play stuff you weren't really able to play before we had compression and tools like that, because we can have like a picked line and we can like juxtapose that with like big open chords, and we can just make it all sound good together where we're not losing steam, we're not losing momentum during the pick part. It just all sounds good together. And yeah, basically that's what it does. It just kind of bridges that gap and just makes the whole performance sound kind of like coherent in itself. So we're gonna play a riff. So yeah, I think it does that. It just like kind of smooths it out, and it just makes everything kind of sound like it works together. It sounds like it belongs together, and that it fits and it aligns. So we're gonna cut the compressor off, and we're gonna hear how it sounds without the compressor. Let me cut that up a little bit. as you can hear, it's not like a big difference. It's kind of subtle. And I just dialed this thing in the way ChatGPT told me to. And I asked about a setting to like be able to control the dynamics and stuff. And I also told it what guitar I'll be using, acoustic electric, and it just spit some numbers out. So we got like a 4 on sustain and a 3 on attack and like a 3 on limit. And levels at 5. And I'd say it works pretty well to where like it doesn't sound totally unlistenable without the compressor, but the compressor just makes it more engaging to listen to, because it just feels like you're not losing steam during those pick parts. So I'm gonna cut the compressor back on. We're gonna show this off like a little bit more. The feedback is crazy. We're playing on this thing, and you can hear how it sounds like very mildly like overdriven. That's just from the level knob here. It just adds like a little bit of just a subtle amount of dirt to your tone, which is cool. I'd say it definitely does that. It just makes just opens up like the opportunities with your playing dynamics. So very cool. We'll probably just go into the next section now. And yeah, pretty cool. Number one. This one's pretty extreme.